People are dying in Africa while we're sitting here comfortably in Australia enjoying really about as good a quality of life as anybody on the entire planet. The situation in the Horn of Africa is going from bad to worse. Dr James Kisia is the Deputy Secretary-General of the Kenya Red Cross based in Nairobi, and this entire region is going through the worst famine anyone has ever known. Dr Kisia, good morning and thank you for talking to us today.
Good morning to you.
The situation, we've already been told it's as bad as it can get. What are your priorities from the delivery of aid point of view?
Yeah, as you say, the situation is 2011 is the driest year on record in East Africa. And this has seen that during this year that a lot of children are malnourished, a lot of people have lost their livestock, and the situation with water is dire. Now, what we at the Kenya Red Cross have a two-pronged approach in which we are attending to the immediate emergency needs and looking at the way to rebuild the lives of the people after the drought. So we are distributing food in schools where the attendance has been very low because of lack of food in the schools in the affected areas, and supporting some of the people who have lost their livestock.
Can you get to the areas where the people are most needing help?
Yeah, we're getting to the areas without any problem. There's no issue of access, and there's no security issues in Kenya. I think the problem of security and access is in Somalia, where we're having about 1,300 people coming across because humanitarian agencies are not able to get aid to them. Because of
violence? Because of the military situation?
Yeah, because of the situation, the security situation in Somalia. So there's been a lot of movement to Kenya. So
there are people dying where aid agencies can't even get to. Is that what you're telling us?
Yes. In parts of Somalia, there are people who are dying, and there are people who are moving, walking long distances. Some people walking 10, 15 days in order to get to the refugee camps in northern Kenya, where then the aid agencies are assisting them. I was in northern Kenya yesterday, and we met women who had walked long distances and children who are malnourished. We are talking about very high rates of malnutrition.
Are you getting the food supplements and special diet, special foods that you need in order to help those children? Have you got enough?
We are getting, but it's not. The emergency needs are a lot higher than what we have currently. We are continuing to fundraise, and the needs are huge.
What do you need?
What we need in the immediate is food, because food, we know, it saves lives. We need water, and we need specialized food for children, especially children under 5, because we know that if these children don't get the proper nutrition, and if they are malnourished, then the damage which is done to their brains, so the intellectual damage, is permanent, and this has serious effects on development of this area.
The world has plenty of these things. Why aren't they getting to you?
Well, that I cannot answer, but I think we should say that we are appreciative of what we are getting from some of the countries in the West, and some of the agencies, some of the development agencies. And I know that in Australia, that Australian Red Cross, who are our sister organization there, have launched an appeal, and if they get whatever they get, they usually do support us during emergencies like this.
But these food supplements, in particular, water, clearly, containerized water can be shipped, and surely the world's capable of getting water in sufficient quantities to northern Kenya. This is ridiculous. And the food supplements, they're in warehouses. They're sitting in the developed world waiting to be shipped. I don't understand why the combined might of Red Cross, Red Crescent around the world can't organise the logistics with the urgency that's required.
Yeah, at least what I can tell you that for the Kenya Red Cross, and here in Kenya, and we are a national organization, And we don't have anything in our warehouses. Anything that comes in goes immediately to those places. So the one thing that I can assure you is that anything that comes through this agency goes directly to the people affected, and to make sure that we attend to the urgent needs of their of food in those areas.
That's the immediate urgent need. Longer term, I presume the needs are not transitory. They're not just for the next days or weeks, even months. What's going to happen long term with what now turns out to be the most persistent drought in living memory?
Yes, in the long term, we need to address issues to do with livelihood. We need to address how you transform some of these pastoralist and agro-pastoralist communities into settled farmers, and then get farming practices and get the utilization of some technology, especially drip irrigation and the utilization of irrigation from the rivers, to make sure that we produce enough food. The answer lies in production of enough food. The answer lies in technology, and it lies in innovative methods of making sure that we feed our people. It is not a problem that is going to go away soon. It is a problem that requires investment in some of these areas.
And yet again, we ask the question about the link to climate change. The number of natural disasters and weather events that have triggered human catastrophe in the last 12 months is unprecedented. And that link must be further explored as well. But perhaps that's for someone else not caught up in the emergency like you are. I'm grateful to you for whatever time you've given us, Dr. James Kisia, and I'll let you get back to delivering the aid to the people who are so desperately waiting for it.
Well, thank you very much, John.
Dr. James Kisia, he's from the Kenya Red Cross. He's based in Nairobi, where he's Deputy Secretary General. Of course, the Australia Red Cross, together with so many other aid agencies, you can take your pick. Save the Children, Oxfam, UNICEF, all sorts of agencies are asking for Australians to be generous as the citizens of the Horn of Africa are in desperate need for your assistance if you can possibly manage to help.